I want to thank you all for coming out this weekend and supporting the cause. Hope that you're all having a good time. We're ready to get this party back in gear. For you right now, I'm going to send one out for my good buddy John here today. I'm going to take over for my brother-in-law as his best buddy in polkas. So here we go for you. It's one called Let's Have a Party all night long.
All right. All night long.
Hi to Michael Filkowski checking in, joining us on Facebook Live here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania with the DynaBrass. Second set upcoming. 3, 2, 1.
Let's have a party all night long. All night long. All the music's going strong.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Michael
All right, polka
Filkowski,
time.
that
Once
is
again, we're going to take you back to our latest CD, 2020 Polkas.
Thanks for asking. Yes, he is jumping in with the band today here in Mohnton,
And here we go
Pennsylvania.
with one entitled
Yeah.
Every Day at My Place. Yeah. You kids are loving the polkas, aren't you? That's awesome. All right, here we go. So Jane gets stoned, I'm a giant toast. There's not a little orchestra on the top. Young and top. All the students are in she
Hi and hello to
Right
John
now
Lula,
we're going to do a tune
who's
for you
asking
off
about
of the
Matthew
Bay
Eagles
City
Unchip
Nights
Jr.
recording.
Yes, it is. John Lula, Doc
We're going to
Lula.
send this out
And
to
hello
all
to
the
Robert
Eagles
Woods
fans
Phillips
here
watching
today. And especially the Eagles fans from Frackville, Pennsylvania.
But yes, that is Eddie Blazonczyk Jr. on the concertina, jumping in with the band
We
today
have a
here in
special
Mohnton,
request for this
Pennsylvania.
one. It's called
Yes,
My
there he is.
Hometown Polka.
We'll zoom in a little more, and that be him. So yes, that is Eddie B. Jr. Yes.
All right, here we go for you. As promised, one called My Hometown Polka.
Whoever requested this is going to have to go to confession after requesting this.
Hi and hello to Colleen the Mouse, Macaulay Marrero.
True.
thanks for checking in and watching Colleen the Polka Mouse, Macaulay Marrero down there in sunny Florida. Thanks for joining in on the Facebook live stream here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania. Here with the award-winning DynaBrass Polka Band.
2020 International
Capping
Polka
off a great polka
Association Song of the Year.
here
Very proud of that.
between Hackettstown, New Jersey and Mohnton, Pennsylvania.
It's an original for the band.
This is
We'll
the
set it
second
off
set of
for
the band.
all the girls in the house. Here we go. One called The Girls Just Wanna Dance.
And once again, for those who are tuning in, wondering who the guy in Concertina is, that is Eddie B. Eddie B. Jr., Eddie Blazonczyk Jr., joining in with the band on Concertina.
Thank you, off our latest CD, The Girls Just Wanna Dance.
Yes, and you better believe that. And the DynaBrass has the dancers dancing out on the floor from the first song, and they will be till the last. If you're just tuning in, welcome aboard to the Facebook Live viewing, watching of the DynaBrass here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania. Here at St. Benedict's Picnic Grove on the last Sunday of September, the first fall weekend of the season. What a gorgeous sunny Sunday afternoon here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania. We had a gorgeous sunny afternoon and evening last night in Hackettstown, New Jersey for the Dance 5 with the Beat and the Polka Family Band. What a great way to cap off a great polka weekend with nice weather, terrific, wonderful music being provided by three super awesome bands.
We do have a few. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, I guess we should confirm, because we're getting a lot of questions, if that is Eddie Blazonczyk Jr. And the answer is yes. That is Eddie Blazonczyk Jr. in the house on the concertina with us.
Pull your cover.
So, all right, well, let's get some Obedics in. For all the Obedic dancers, here's one off their latest CD called Who's Gonna Mow Your Grass? Thank you. There's one called Who's Gonna Mow Your Grass? So back off our latest CD.
Hi and hello to John Keenitz, watching and checking out the Facebook live stream of the DynaBrass here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania at St. Benedict's Picnic Grove. This is set number 2 of the DynaBrass.
All right, we have a request for this next tune. One called the Green Grass Polka Zielona Traweczka.
Hi and hello to Ray J, Raymond Yaroshinsky, for watching and viewing the live stream Facebook of the DynaBrass here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania at St. Benedict's Grove.
So here we go.
Grove.
My request, Zielona Traweczka.
Thanks for joining us here on this beautiful, gorgeous, sunny Sunday afternoon. Stick around, the music's going to be here till 6 o'clock, so keep checking back in with me and my dad's Facebook Live videos.
Yes, sir.
In a question that Colleen, the Polka Mouse, Macaulay Marrero asked,
Well, we can get the,
seeing a lot of
the other
kids.
one.
Yes, there are a lot of kids here today. Yes, they did show up, and it's really nice to see. And yes, they are our future of polka music, totally. And yes, we certainly need that indeed. Yes, they are the next generation for this music. Totally agree, 200% on that assessment.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for all the requests. Put them in the back of the brain here, and hopefully I won't forget them. But we appreciate you asking. A couple of them we can do, a couple of them we can't. But we will we'll get what we can for you. Got to finagle the wires all around. We're going to feature Eddie Jr. on the vocal for you on this one. We'd like to do one especially for Chris Waino and the whole family. How you guys doing? Good to see you. I thought we saw you at Doylestown, but as quickly as I thought we saw you, you disappeared, so it must not have been you. So here we go for you, Eddie Jr. on the vocal. It's one called the Raindrops Polka.
And that was Eddie B. Jr. doing the vocals on that tune.
All right, we had a request for a tune entitled The Concertina Cocktail. We're going to do that for you right now, especially once again, for Jeff and Carolyn Greichek and the whole family and all the folks that were out in Sassamansville, Pennsylvania 3 weeks ago. We had a great time out there at the Fireman's Picnic Grove. So just for the Greichek family right now, we'll do one instrumentally. It's called The Concertina Cocktail. Yes, in just a little bit we'll dance again, okay? All right. Here we go, instrumentally, Concertina Cocktail. All right, how about that? Concertina Cocktail. Hey, we had a request, let's see here. For In Heaven There Is No Beer. Also had a request for Who Stole the Kishka, which is one we don't have in the book.
Once again to Linda Lavera.
Actually, In Heaven There Is No Beer, we recorded our 2020 recording, so we're going to do that for you right now. And this is going out for the memory of Eddie Boo. So especially for the family, and thanks for asking for this one. Here we go, we'll feature Jimmy on the vocal. It's one entitled In Heaven There Is No Beer.
The DynaBrass will be on stage until 6 o'clock, so stick around and join me and my dad for our Facebook live streams. And please tell family and friends to check out our live streams of our Facebook videos of the DynaBrass and our previous videos we had done over the last couple of weeks, and month or two. So there you go. Colleen, I'll let Dad know you said hi. Okay?
There is no beer.
Hi and hello there to Richie Goyce from the Polka Country Musicians for joining in and watching the live Facebook stream of the DynaBrass here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania, here at St. Benedict's Picnic Grove.
Anybody out there celebrating
Thanks
their
for joining
anniversary here
in on the fun here
September. Do we have any September
on this sunny
anniversaries?
Sunday afternoon
Anywhere?
as we are listening to the final super sounds of the DynaBrass. This is their second set. And the DynaBrass will be on till 6 o'clock
We're going to
tonight.
do a nice
And they are
waltz sway
rocking
right now. It's
the
original
house.
for the DynaBrass.
Thanks to those of you for watching and checking out the live stream.
Journey of Love.
Stick around till 6 o'clock for more sounds of the DynaBrass.
Inspiration all I could ask for is a journey of love.
Hi and hello to Nick Josh as well as John Sobchak for viewing and checking and watching the live stream of the DynaBrass here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania, here at St. Benedict, Richmond Road.
Lost in music.
Hello, Gary McNillis. Thanks for checking in, watching the live stream video of the DynaBrass here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania with the DynaBrass.
And the family will raise over that this moment never ends as your lips come close to mine, knowing that I'll love you long past our last goodbye. It's a journey of
Thank you off our latest release. That's one called The Journey of Love Waltz.
John Sobchak, you're welcome, very welcome as always, as along with many others out there. Our pleasure for being able to take our time out to want to film and do this to share to all of you out there who can't be here, but at least we can bring this great live music to all of you so at least you can hear it from your comforts of home or wherever you may be on this great sunny Sunday afternoon.
Versace and the Versatones too. Right now, by special request, the young lady asked for it. So just for all the Eddie V fans in the house, here's one called Please Stop the World Polka. the world.
Tony, baby. How are you?
Earlier, Colleen Morero mentioned how she wishes she could be here with all of us at this dance today. We wish you were here as well too, along with many others. But
Right, we're gonna keep
glad
it
you
going
can
the whole
all tune
time
in and
for you
watch
right
the
now.
Facebook live stream
Reminding
of
you
the
once again, don't
DynaBrass
forget
from your
to buy
comforts
those,
of wherever you may
raffle
be,
tickets for the
home
baskets.
or on the road or
Lots of great prizes
outside
right under the
on this
blue.
gorgeous sunny Sunday afternoon, wherever you may be. Once again,
What time is that raffle gonna be?
thank you for joining in.
About
Thanks for
5
joining
o'clock?
in on the
Okay.
Polka
So you still got
Fun.
a little bit of time yet to get your raffle
Party
tickets for all the
Express.
baskets. Plenty of great prizes. Also, don't forget the kitchen is open, the bar is open. Tip your bartenders, tip your wait staff. Some excellent Polish food, potato pancakes out there in the back. Great things happening here this afternoon at St. Benedict's Grove. Is everybody having a good time? All right. Well, for all those that are indulging in a little bit of alcohol this afternoon, this tune is for you because tomorrow morning you just might wake up with a headache. Thank you. That's one called the Headache Polka. As long as we're doing drinking songs, let's do one more for you. This one is available off the. Oh, you want to dance all night again? Oh, well, how can we not do that request? Isn't that just like the cutest thing you've ever seen? Holy cow! All right, we're gonna shift gears here because the young ladies just asked for a song that we did a little bit earlier, and we taught it to them in our first set. Do you know how it goes? You know how it goes? Everybody to the left, everybody to the right. Now they're not paying attention. Right? Everybody to the left, everybody to the right. Take one step forward, one step back. They're gonna dance all night. Here we go.
Everybody to the left, everybody to the right. Take one step forward, one step back. We're gonna dance all night. Now everybody to the left,
Now we're going to have to start from the beginning.
For you, Chris.
Well, you know, Jimmy's killing it up here with his dance moves. Got his foot tangled up in my cable and just yanked it right out of the amp, and that's what happens sometimes.
He's having a bad weekend.
Yeah, seriously. All right, let's start it over from the top, okay? We don't want to shortchange anybody, especially the young girls out there that asked for this song, especially for them. Dance all night. Here we go.
Everybody to the left, everybody to the right. Say what's that forward, what's that back. We're gonna dance all night. Now go to the left, now go to the right. Say what's that forward, what's that back. We're gonna dance all night.
Thank you, one and all. One title dance all night.
It's still autistic.
All right, now, hey girls, thank you. What's your names? What's your name?
No, I'm just, I get louder.
Kara? Chase and Clara, right? Chase and Clara. Chase, I want to introduce you to our trumpet player. Chase.
Chase is on the case.
All right. Hey, thank you for asking. We appreciate it. We hope you love the music. Okay. How about that? Aren't they cute? My goodness. All right. Well, with all that fun, now we're going to get back to some drinking songs. Not for the girls. In fact, I'm not even sure if we should do this with these girls standing up front here. We had a request for 100 proof polka. So we're going to do that for you right now off of the DynaBrass Bay City Nights. Here we go. 100 proof.
watching and checking in the live stream of the DynaBrass here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania at St. Benedict's Picnic Grove on this
All right.
beautiful
Here's what we
sunny
got a request for.
Sunday afternoon. This is their second set of the DynaBrass, and they will be playing till 6
We're
o'clock.
going to do one for you right now off of our And the Road Begins CD. I'd like to remind you that we do have all the DynaBrass CDs available here at the bandstand. If you'd like to take a little bit of our music,
and you are very welcome as always, and glad you are enjoying these live videos that we are doing here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania. Thanks for joining in on the polka fun and enjoying.
right now, here we go with one called the Congratulations Polka.
Stick around, we're going to still be here till 6 o'clock, so the next set, Dad, Jerry Sr. will be on, and then probably the last set, yours truly, will have the honor of wrapping up the night. So stick around and check back in between now and 6 o'clock. Don't go anywhere.
Congratulations, Polka.
The DynaBrass is rocking it out of the park. Second time in 2 weeks they've been in this area, and they are hitting it out of the park, definitely. We saw them 2 weeks ago in Doylestown at the Polish American Festival, and they were rocking it that day, and they are today. And they definitely had the dancers out on the dance floor, and the dancers have been dancing since the first song. Gotta love it.
All right, we're going to do one that we don't normally do, but we had a request for the Ukrainian polka. So we're going to give this one a whirl.
And they're pulling out a lot of great tunes to boot. For those who are just tuning in or have been tuned in and wondering who the guy on concertina is, it is Eddie Blazonczyk Jr., Eddie B. Jr.
All right, we're having a band meeting.
And as I zoom in, that
all right, here we go for you. It's one called the Ukrainian polka.
Hi and hello to Margaret Degman for watching and checking in and tuning into the live stream video of the DynaBrass here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania. Video of the DynaBrass here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania. Thanks for joining in, checking out, and watching the live stream video of the DynaBrass here in Mohnton, Pennsylvania.
One called the Ukrainian polka. Thank you. All right, let's get a waltz in for you right now. Waltz time. As long as we're doing drinking songs today, why not a drinking waltz? Anybody ever heard of the drinking waltz?
Hey.
Well, we've done one on our latest CD. Here's one called Alcohol.
For those who are just tuned in and watching the live feed, the guy on the far left, if you're watching on the concertina, is Eddie B. Jr. Eddie Blazonczyk Jr.
Well, ladies
is
and
jumping in
especially for Pat.
filling in with the band today. And he's rocking on that concertina. He did sing on the Raindrops Polka earlier today. And Kyle Kohan, the guy on clarinet sax, is Jimmy Machkevich Sr. So you can appreciate that being a clarinet sax player yourself.
for this next tune. A couple of weeks ago, we had a request for it. We didn't have Jimmy with us. Who did he? Megan? Megan, out to the dance floor, please.
Yes, that's Jimmy Markevich Sr. on the clarinet and sax.
You know, hey, look right here. Especially for Dottie and Mark. I had a premonition that you were going to come up and ask for that. Dottie and Mark asked for this one back at Doylestown at the Polish American Festival 2 weeks ago, and we didn't have Jimmy with us, so without the clarinet, this song just doesn't really exist. So here we go for you by request off the In the Heat of the Night recording. Here's Jimmy Markevich on Oriental Hula. and the Oriental Hula. With that, we're going to take a short intermission. Don't forget the raffle is coming up right about 5 o'clock for all the basket raffles, and we'll be back with you with more music right up until 6 o'clock this afternoon. You've been listening to the DynaBrass. Thank you.
Next set, Jerry Sr. Dad will be on. So tune back in for that next set.